Hi, um, I'm Susan, and I'm INTJ, and I'm going to have to be pretty quiet because my girlfriend's sleeping, and I don't want to wake her up. I'm not being really nice because I'm drinking her last beer, so. I'm an INTJ. I'm going to get a glass. What do I think about type theory? Well, it's kind of new to me. I really don't know much about it. I'm only just really sort of learning this and that. I came across it some months ago when I was actually looking up the definition of personality, because I really didn't know what it was when you come down to it, and the reason I was coming down to it is I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and started writing a book about the experience, and in reading about the different things that might or could happen to me. The scariest are the changes that can happen in the brain, changes to your personality. This is what I'm reading. I'm thinking, well, what is personality? And I came across the test, and I tested it as INTJ, and I thought, well, I have a baseline at least. That's what I am now. If I'm going to change, maybe I'll test differently in the future. As I said, that was some time ago, and I really don't think it's going to offer me any kind of real data of value, and I don't know what I'm seeking anyway in that regard. But what I think of it is not much, because I don't really know much about it. I don't know what my dominant functions are or anything like that. I really don't know. But having found out about it, well, then I found it on Facebook, and I found your groups, and I found some wonderful people. And so I have a nascent interest. I've got a lot to learn about it. And if I start testing as an ESFP, then we know that some significant changes have happened in my brain, and we need to call my neurologist. I don't know what they'll be able to do about it anyway. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like, take my legs, take everything, but don't change who I am, you rotten disease, because this has taken a while to put together, and it's all right. I'm pretty happy with it, you know. So I just hope my personality doesn't change, and I don't even know if this test will be a way to monitor that. My philosophy on life is pretty much just wow. Do what you can with what you have. You know, don't make excuses. I can't make a record because I don't have a certain kind of guitar or amp, or when I get this I'll be able to do that, or I'll be able to do this as soon as I've done that. Like, no, stop making excuses and do what you can with what you have. It's worked for me. Everything I've done with what I had, and it was never ideal, but it was what you have. I'll leave that because it doesn't make much sense. My favourite things to do, I like DJing a lot, and creating the third place, that place that isn't work, that isn't home, that's like in a venue or a bar. It's a Wednesday night or a Thursday night, and it's the third place for people to go, where they don't have to be who they are with their colleagues or who they are with their family. They can be who they are with their friends, listening to the music they like to listen to. It's an important thing to do. Increasingly the third place is online. We're in a third place right now. But I like to create them in the real world as well, and it's also a way for me to have a social life. If I didn't organise nights, I probably wouldn't leave the house much. Frustrates me most about myself is I wish I was a little more consistent and reliable as a friend. I don't think I'm probably the best friend to have in the world. I'll be there when it counts, definitely. But I'm going to forget your birthday, and I might not be there when, I don't know. I know I could be a better friend. That frustrates me. That I've identified a clear area for improvement, and I've really haven't acted on it, which is something you need to do once you've identified, is act on it every day, in every way. So that frustrates me, that I'm not following through on something, a path of self-improvement that I've identified. I also have no breaks whatsoever, which isn't good. That frustrates me. Not much I can do about that. What book author do I respect or value the most? There is a book I respect, and the author as well is a French philosopher, situationist, called Guy Debord of the Situationist International. He put out a book, I think his first book, with a sandpaper cover. Conceptually, this is my favourite book because it was made that way so that it could not be stored on a bookshelf without destroying any book that it was placed next to. Apart from that, the world of books and writers is far too vast for me to pick favourites. And these things change, as we do every day. Or we should be changing every day. If you're not, you're stagnating. Don't do that. What do I rant about? I rant about intellectual property quite a bit because it's just a strange concept. The ownership of ideas will hinder the forward motion of culture. It'll slow us down. It'll slow the human condition down. Yeah, I will get into a rant if I start talking about intellectual property and copyright. So I won't, but I have huge issues with the concept. And I don't know, apart from that, the only other thing that I get slightly, I guess, aspy about is aviation, like civil aviation, planes, airports, like talking about the differences between, say, the new Airbus A350 XWB, the new Boeing 787 Dreamliner, both the new generation jets with carbon composite fuselages and increased interior humidity. That's where I could really lose people easily. Advice. I don't give advice. I listen, and I ask questions. Like, I'll give everybody their 15 minutes. I think if you ask the right questions, people will articulate themselves the advice they need to hear, because the solution has to come from within anyway, whatever the situation. So instead of offering advice, offer questions that help others articulate what they already know. Bye.